Hello, everyone, and no one, and welcome to another Rotten Movie Reviews. I I am tempted every time I go to do this because it's usually on Sundays that I get a chance to watch the unsubscribe. So I always wanted to pull it on. Hi, everyone! But join me as always is Tier Alexander. Tier, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Not so bad. Got Angela with us as well. Angela, how you doing?
Continuity errors, identity crises, and dick jokes. Oh my.
Yep, and I don't think Will is back yet.
He is not.
Meow.
Or
Oh,
I
there he
say
is.
meow.
Oh.
Well, it had titties in it. Briefly, at least. It had me and then it lost me.
I do love the fact that this movie did have John Leguizamo and Jim Carrey in it, and they both died.
Yeah.
But for those of you who haven't seen it, Kick Ass 2 is the 2013 sequel to the original Kick Ass movie, which honestly should have been left as a standalone movie. But for some
Yeah.
odd reason, they did want to continue it because the comics did continue it. So Kick Ass 2 is actually a mixture of Kick Ass 2 and a bit of the prelude known as Hit Girl. Because for those of you who didn't know, there are 3 comics for it.
Also known as sequel How Not To.
Yeah. I mean, they had good parts in it, they had bad parts in it.
Oh yeah.
It did follow that whole thing of like Mindy dealing with the one girls in her school and everything. The difference being
that could have been cut out.
Well, again, they were following the comic. So like I know you're like, oh, that could have been cut out, but it's like quite literally that was in the comic. Them working in a soup kitchen was in the comic, except for Colonel Stars and Stripes was actually Colonel Stars and there was a Major Stripes, if memory serves me correctly. But yeah, and then Night Bitch is someone he actually does get. It's like Lazuski does get with, and that's they do a whole thing. And I know his dad does get murdered. Like it has a whole thing of it. They just changed enough of it because of what they changed in the first one. So and yes, some of the shit for the whole, oh, it's this could have been cut. Well, except for it was actually like pretty storyline wise accurate, except for it's not, he doesn't get a betrayal from his one friend. He doesn't Chris D'Amico doesn't call himself the motherfucker. He still goes by Red Mist, and he lucidly remembers it because he's a major pothead. Lazuski's name, and that's how when he does the whole thing of having his killing his dad. And except for one of the big changes they did do that most people would agree with is they didn't kill the dog in the movie, but they did in the comic.
No. Okay. Oh, I'm definitely not reading the comic.
Yeah, I'll just go ahead.
I think they should have killed the dog in this one too.
Well, if they'd have done what they did in the comic and that whole thing, they killed the dog, or they killed Colonel Stars, killed the dog, decapitated them both, but put the dog's head on Colonel Stripe's head or on his body. Yeah.
They turned him into a dog boy?
Put him on test.
Like it's pretty rough. I mean, I will definitely agree. The last part, you know, right when you get to the funeral, it goes through all that shit. That's definitely when it gets good.
That's the only. I liked everything after the funeral.
Yeah, everything after the funeral was action packed and what I wanted, but everything before that, I could care less about their school life.
I didn't even care. Like, it could have been done well. It wasn't done well. If it had been done well, I would have liked the pacing was off for the story they were telling.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if the extended scenes would have given anything for it.
Mr. Scott, and hello, brother. I said it in chat. I know I said it in chat, but
yeah, and Chris and the guy who played, D'Amico, otherwise the motherfucker, he was glad they actually did cut quite a bit because, you got to remember the guy who wrote was Mark Miller, who wrote the Kick-Ass ones, also wrote the original Wanted, not the Curve and Bullets one, but the one where super villains one.
oh my god, it's the same guy. I've been watching The Boys.
Yeah,
which is
so
also the
Red
same.
Mist had killed killed kids, and doesn't have a now I'm trying what the fucking terms called. He does commit said grape in the comic.
Okay.
On Night Bitch.
Right.
Kind of odd that he.
There's a lot of dark comics.
Yeah.
Not at all surprised, given that. No, from what I've heard, because I have decided I will not read anything by this guy.
Why not?
It is not for me. Let's put it that way.
Fair enough.
It's like, I will say for a lot of it, at least for the. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I will say
he is.
Oh Jesus!
You first, Rotn.
Yeah, for his comics and that whole thing, a lot of the bad stuff that's actually in there. So like, the sexually assaulting of the woman, the murder of the kids, like they don't show any of that on screen. Like they don't even show them kill the dog. They just have like a Yelp thing off panel. So it's like you only see bits and pieces of the aftermath. Like you don't even hear about. You hear about the whole thing of her being sexually assaulted when she's at the hospital. Or it's like that's when Kick-Ass finds out about it. And
I don't.
Evan Peters was unable to reprise his role because of his conflicts with American Horror Story.
I figured, and I'm so glad. I was super stoked. I was like, I'm gonna get to watch Evan Peters. I don't mind, even if they pick Mega Piranha for Frosted's movie. I'm not gonna be upset because I'm gonna get to see
who's Evan Peters again?
He was the guy who played Todd in the first one. The one who was like, oh my god, I think I'm in love. I will solemnly save myself for her.
Okay, all right.
The one who, when they get mugged the first time, he's just like, there's just comics.
Yeah, all right. The one that doesn't have a girlfriend in the end.
Yeah.
Got it.
But yeah, I was like, I'm gonna get to watch Evan Peters again. It's gonna be great.
Oh, and I did have it wrong.
And then he wasn't in it, and I was like, ugh.
It wasn't Colonel Stars and Major Stripes. It was Colonel Stars and Lieutenant Stripes, and they're brothers.
Great.
Again, this movie did not need to exist. Like the first Kick-Ass was good, and it should have remained a standalone.
The first Kick-Ass was great, and it ended well. It set up a specific continuity that should have happened, that should have been led into in the second movie. But they turned around and completely went against everything that they established at the end of the last movie. And that was what and that was the first domino that fell.
Well, they skipped it in the prelude because he does stop being a superhero for a while, and it's because he is kind of being hunted.
Well, no, if you remember, the first movie ended with the cops saying that she could go to his high school, but that he had to keep an eye on her and mentor her. And in this, he's acting like he doesn't even know who he is.
And that's another thing that bothered me. The way it makes it seem is that he's in he's he's in this place where he is the senior superhero, and oh, please teach me.
Mhm.
Like, really? After what the fuck y'all have been through, you want her to teach you? Like, technically, dude, you should be. Yeah. Again, this movie didn't need to exist. And right, there was some good parts in it. Some amazing
If they
parts.
were going to make it, they needed to turn around and pay attention to the movie that they made before, so they didn't step all over their dicks making this one.
Yeah.
Which they did.
Yeah. What they needed to do was have it set in the Kick-Ass universe, but not involve Kick-Ass.
Well, for how much it takes from the prelude to Kick-Ass 2 of Hit Girl, honestly, they should have just done the Hit Girl comic to where she's the main character, or a Hit Girl movie where she's the main character, and then you set it up to go into the second to Kick-Ass 2, to where they're gonna have the whole like multiple more superheroes and everything.
Yeah, I mean, granted, this shit was good. Certain parts were good.
Well,
I could have done without the fucking high school story.
Yeah. Again, though, like it's from I can remember for the most part, it's actually fairly lore accurate of them doing that. I know you don't care for it, but again, it's fairly lore accurate to it and that whole thing. And Furry Bastard, if they were gonna do the source material, Hit Girl would have been 10 and Lazuski would have been 15 at most. He also wouldn't have gotten the girl in the first movie.
Okay.
And it
again,
also
Batman.
yeah.
¿Cómo estás?
And it also I was saying that it also would have been that Big Daddy wasn't a cop because he never was. Big Daddy originally just owned a comic shop and was going through a divorce and wanted to make his daughter a superhero, so he kidnapped her. Because in all technicality, Hit Girl's mom is not dead. She's actually married to Marcus, who's a cop.
Wow. In the case of what you're saying, Batman, it wouldn't matter if they had followed the source material because I don't know the source material. The problem that I have is that they made a pretty solid and good movie in the first movie, and then turned around and apparently forgot what they did in the first movie, and made this movie contradict the first movie.
Yeah.
Well, it just contradicted a lot of things in the first movie, not everything of it.
And also, I will not read Garth Ennis, so that's fine.
Yeah, this is. Go ahead.
Sorry, you.
So this is just one of those movies that it's a one-time thing. It's really a one-time movie that you're gonna watch, and if you're gonna rewatch stuff of it, you just go back and rewatch certain scenes.
Like, again, I love the ending fight scene with her fucking fight Mama Rush. I think the adrenaline shit was stupid as fuck.
Oh yeah.
Like, fully expected it though.
Yeah, you expected it, but still, what they should have used the adrenaline. Maybe like just have that, Mama Rush gets her good, and she just start cutting bitches' glass. Or maybe, or you know what? You know what would have been better? The the Justice Force attacks her all together, and that's how they win. Like they don't set up the conflict between her and Mother Russia like their antagonists. It should have been the Freedom Force attacking her together to get revenge on her for killing Star Stripes.
Well, in that whole thing, you have to remember the Justice Forever squad.
Justice Forever, my bad.
They were for the most part a non-violent and non-murderous, so it would have had to have been basically them subduing her. But it got put up better if there was more stuff put in there. of in the comic for like the whole thing of Hit Girl v Mother Russia. And again, it's just that whole thing. They didn't set up enough of it. But
Well,
it's
see,
basically
again,
supposed to be that whole thing of like the badass Hit Girl versus the badass Mother Russia.
Basically,
all right.
what the problem with your concept here is that Mother Russia, or Kami Bitch as I want to call her, has been established as being the thing on the villain squad that is the closest thing to being superhuman. And no, like, she would have taken out the whatever you call the good guys one by one, and they all would have ended up dead.
All right. So my
That
thing
is
is this: but without a proper setup, the fight between the two of them holds no weight. They don't even interact.
Yes. And we understand that, Tier.
aside from the fact that you can see her developing a crush on Kick-Ass throughout the show, and she just wants to keep him from getting killed by this big ass commie bitch.
No, it's in that fight. They don't. It doesn't set up the interaction between the two of them. It's not like she's directly a threat to kick ass. She just stands there. It does not set that fight up at all, and it holds no weight.
It keeps her from killing the people that are weaker. That is the entire point of it.
Yeah.
That is like the one thing that I actually understood and thought was well done in the movie.
Hit Girl saw her. Oh, go ahead.
Again, it like in a movie, it has something. In order for it to be the climactic fight between the two titans, you have to set up this fight. You have to give them some sort of interaction. You know, it's Angela. You play D&D. If a
It's actually pretty fucking simple. It doesn't always have to have some big ass dramatic fucking thing to go into it. The setup for this one is quite literally Hit Girl knows that Mother Russia is the one who's gonna fuck up everyone else. So she goes after her to take her down and lets fucking Kick-Ass go after the motherfucker because those two have to have a showdown. They're not the main event.
I'm all right.
You're
Again,
not getting it.
for this fight to have narrative weight, for it to be this climactic thing that
it's for you. It's for it to have narrative weight for you.
No.
Yes, it is, because other people will see that and be okay with it. You can't just go through here and say, like, every time this happens, being like, it doesn't do X, Y, and Z. Well, other people will accept that. You can easily say that it doesn't work for you and that they should have done more for it. And most people will accept that.
You're just saying that it doesn't, it's pointless to everyone, and it's not.
All right. Okay. For me, it's utterly fucking pointless. It holds no narrative weight. It is literally, oh, well, these two, just because they look badass, should fight. But if they should have had some sort of interaction leading up to it. Like, there should have been something between the two of them to make this fight even more. Oh, I can't wait for the rematch between the two of them. Maybe have Mother Russia actually fucking fight with Hit Girl before. Maybe have them. Oh, I killed your. I'm the one that killed your mother. Something to give that fight an issue, and why they're antagonistic to each other. Other than, oh, she looks like a badass when there's a billion other people I need to be fucking fighting.
I'm pretty sure it got pulled out because there isn't extended scenes in there, and I didn't have the extended scenes for us to watch. Because more of the extended scenes, take Mother Russia, Hit Girl, even the stuff with Jim Carrey's character. So most likely what it is the stuff that was supposed to be in there that would have given it more of a appropriate narrative of them two having what seems to be that much of a beef, I guess, was probably cut.
And it was a mistake to cut it.
Because, like I said, it's enough for me to turn around and watch and see Hit Girl calculating if she turns around and leaves the others to face off with her, she's going to pick them off one by one, including Kick-Ass.
And she probably would have also known that with everything because she
That's a lot
saw.
of assumptions.
We
Well-
got to figure it's here. Hit
Some of
Girl
us
is
don't need
one
it
in
spelled
there
out.
that was there that would be the most in tune with who's the big bad here, who's the biggest threat
Well,
to the group.
Hold on. Not only that, you got to remember she does bring up of they cut a guy's fucking head off. Which means after this whole thing, she'd have gone through and looked into it and most likely had a discussion with Dave as well.
But they,
Yeah.
again,
They
those
didn't
two have
show it,
never
yeah.
interacted. No. Mother Russia and him never interacted, so he wouldn't know either.
I mean, he'd potentially know
Like-
from Night Bitch.
That again, we're out.
We're out there in there, and it doesn't work for you. It's kind of the way it is. It
This
does.
movie had tits in it.
Mr. Scott sees it the way you do, Tier.
I'm not even looking at chat right now.
Now he says he's with you 100 so far.
Again, if you're gonna set up this, here these two titans fighting. Oh well, they've never interacted the entire movie. They've never had any sort of discussion. She's never met her. Oh, out of everybody here, I'm gonna pick her to fight. Again, there was narrative weight between the fight between Motherfucker and Kick-Ass. Their fight felt something. You felt something. There was emotional weight behind it. They had to meet in the end. They had to interact. The story could not go on without the two of them interacting. However, the fight between Hit Girl. You're making the assumption.
Here we
that
go. We can go on to this one. Do you think the fight in the end of The Crow, where the Crow goes up against the one guy who's technically not of the T-Bird's crew, but he's the one who basically said everything.
Don't quite remember The Crow.
Well,
I don't remember it.
Yeah, I was gonna say until he actually goes to kill Skank, and that one he'd never interacted with that guy, and the only interaction he had with him is "I'm here for him." So their fight would have no meaning.
I can't make a judgment on something I don't remember. Like I don't remember that fight. I don't know what you're talking about. But what I'm seeing here, right here, judging by information that the movie is giving me, judging by the events of the movie as it was cut and it was directed and edited and presented, that fight made no fucking sense.
I mean, if we're gonna be honest in that whole thing as well, like I put on the side chat as well, when Mother Russia pulls off the car door, and 9mm bounces off it, like, no, she'd have been dead right there.
Yeah, police car doors are not bulletproof.
No.
And I would have loved to see them all team up to take her down.
But then if you're, like I said, if you're going with the Justice Forever group, their whole thing wasn't to kill. The only one who had that of the vigilante aspect was Hit Girl. Now, if they'd have had like you said, had a little setup, even if they hadn't interacted, they could have basically had, Hit Girl going through and taking out different villains and whatnot, and Mother Russia take out a couple of the good guys, and then they come across each other, and they're like, "Oh, I've seen you've at least killed some people, and you've seen me kill some people. This should at least be interesting."
That would have been something.
Yeah.
But to have her like literally wade into battle, ignoring everybody else to go straight to her.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, she does used the one guy's finger to poke his own eye out.
Yeah,
Which was funny, the fact that because that's also the guy who later on goes to be in
I know.
Nope and
Wakanda Forever.
Yeah. Well, and
Yeah.
shit. Get Out. That was the one.
Get Out. He was in Get Out and Nope.
He did better in Nope.
Yeah, he was way better than Nope, honestly. And again, you present me with a story. You give me these issues. You show okay. What was a good setup fight? Was it Enter the Dragon? I think it was Enter the Dragon. The climactic fight between Bruce Lee and Chuck Norris. It's set up. They've been setting this shit up all fucking movie that these two are going to interact. They're going to fight.
No, that would be like with the guy who organized the whole fight. It wasn't until they kind of set it up, but Chuck Norris's character never interacted with Bruce Lee until then. So you would again have it that only one person knew the other. He had no interaction with anyone else.
All right, Bruce Leroy versus Sho'nuff.
Yeah.
Perfect setup.
Yes, they do have that, and it is better. It is better when they do that. But not every movie is going to do that, especially when you look at that, like the main people that are supposed to be for this of this one is, Kick-Ass and the Motherfucker.
To quote one of the best lines from George Lucas is, "It's like poetry. It rhymes."
Except for not all poetry rhymes.
That's not what.
Tears Mind obviously runs in reverse anyway.
I don't care for Art Weinstein, but he mentions in the book that his modern wisdom and book in his modern wisdom beats a movie that skips, misses, many beats, generally sucks. Yeah.
And yeah, Clown Skank was not the top guy. T-Bird was. And technically T-Bird wasn't even second in command. He was closer to like third.
Then the sucky poetry.
Yes. Wasn't the crazy bitch the second in command?
Well, that was his sister. His real second.
I don't remember the movie.
Crazy bitch.
Well, she was. He didn't consider his second in command. He considered her his whatever. That's like
I don't even want to think about it. It was gross, whatever.
Yeah, his second in command was the black dude that used a calico pistol. And he just got to T-Bird before he got to Skank. Yeah. They definitely, like, it has good parts, it has bad parts. They definitely missed the mark on what it should have been. Like, I'm not arguing on that one. Because that's like the whole thing of her holding on to the the van through the bullet holes. That would have fucked her hands all up.
Yep, jagged metal. Not jagged metal at that.
It might not be, for that whole thing. It had been probably wouldn't have been so hot, but it would have fucking degloved her fingers.
Not think about that. That is, I have seen that, and now I hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Ow. Ow.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and Clown was right. It was Tony Todd who played his second in command.
I returned to my previous statement. It had titties. It had me when it showed titties. Then it lost me.
Yeah.
And then the end happened, and then it lost me again.
Okay.
See, unfortunately, they had way too much of exposition that was being shown that shouldn't have been shown the way it was. Like, I think the introductions for a lot of the people was done wrong. I do think it's funny that they had Chuck Liddell in this movie as well, though, for a brief moment.
I know.
I'm pissed that the friend didn't get his comeuppance.
Well, he didn't know that that's what they were going to do. That's why he says, like, oh, you're not going to do anything, right? You're going to keep that a secret. He didn't intentionally give the whole thing over. And again, when you look at it, it's like when you actually go to the comic, it's not the friend that betrayed him. It's the Red Mist was able to just remember his name.
Friend didn't get his comeuppance. He is and yeah.
Well, his
you guys
whole-
are super villains.
Well, it's the whole thing of he thought he was going to be going down that road, and once he sees what was going on, that's where he backs away, and his redemption's supposed to be saving the battle guy, the other friend. Because again, if you want to go into that whole thing as well, Kick-Ass and everyone else didn't know that Todd was the one who told D'Amico.
That's something they should have put two and two together. How you weren't you weren't when we gathered up and you were here. Why were you here?
Well, he had remember when he was going over the whole thing of basically just being inverse Kick-Ass. He said I would find my own crew. They kind of let him go and didn't have anything would be plausibly bringing him back.
No.
Yes.
All right.
They broadcast a wide message. It went to more people than just the justice group there. It went to everybody that was doing it, everybody that dreamed of doing it, and everything. They didn't, I'm sure, vet every single person that showed up or even interview them. It was like, hey, we're good. This is where we need to be. This is where the big bads are.
And you got to remember as well when all the bads they're doing their face off and whatnot, you don't see Todd in the crowd of bads because he backed away when he heard that we're gonna kill Kick-Ass, and he's just like, I'm in the wrong fucking place.
Your friends have a meetup and you don't say, hey, I know those guys. Hey, run up and talk to them.
Well, again, when
you know who they are.
Again, he didn't know that they were going to kill the dad. He didn't even know that they did kill the dad from everything we're aware of. So what would have been the friend's proper comeuppance then, Tyr?
I'm a punch in the face at the very least. I'm not saying kill the kid. I'm just saying have him acknowledge, holy shit, I'm the one that told that was your dad. I did not know.
I mean,
and he would have heard about the funeral because the other friends heard about the funeral. So you're telling me that
Well, he heard that he got killed, and from what we're aware of as well, though, he hadn't been told of who it was that potentially did it. Like, he didn't know that the motherfucker was D'Amico.
You're trying to crowbar that in there feels too forced.
I'm not trying to crowbar that in there. I'm trying. There's a narrative issue there again, and it. Eh,
Oh, like I'm not saying that by any means this is a great movie. I don't think it's an absolute shit movie.
it's a narrative issue there that is not being addressed. Like it. So everyone gets. In all things, everybody gets what they deserve, right? At the very least, he should get a punch in the throat, or some sort of rebuke, or feel some sort of way like maybe I had something to do with
Well,
his father dying.
one of their big things they also brought up was that it's real life and not everyone gets what they deserve.
Again, maybe the friend shouldn't even have been there to begin with.
Yes, they put that in there as a way to have D'Amico find out who Kick-Ass's dad. It's like, who Kick-Ass actually was. Like I should have went through and read the comics again, and I didn't, because the comics are better, even though they are exponentially more violent.
Yeah, my interest in reading the comics has kind of died with this movie.
Yeah, I would definitely say the comics are better than the movie. Like most of the things are. Like I'd say give them at least a read once. I know Angela's not going to because of everything, but for how you are, Tier,
Yeah.
I'd recommend you read them at least once. If you got them, might as well read them once.
From what I hear, he's mostly shock for shock value, and I'm not there for it.
And I misread Mr. Scott's thing of like I thought it was like thought it was what's the last one you guys saw where Nick Cage was the villain or the hero
No,
or
he
the main
wants to
character.
know what we'd
Yeah,
recast him.
that's why I said I misread it.
Jim Carrey's character.
Yeah,
Jim Carrey's character. My interest in Jim Carrey in general is meh.
I still say
if he's not doing slapstick comedy, he's not fucking great.
Honestly, I didn't hate him in this one. I thought he did well. And what's up, Keith?
Okay.
I mean, he only had less than 8 minutes of actual screen time, but it wasn't bad.
So we're going to establish the Jim Carrey timer rule. If it's less than 8 minutes, he might be good.
So the timer is the bar is set maximum at 8 minutes.
I mean,
8 minutes.
he kind of stopped having stuff from put up for this and him because of some of the shit that he had. Like, where was it? That's factual errors. Damn it.
Again, crap movie. Could have done without the high school drama shit. The Mean Girl subplot was unfucking necessary to the movie.
Oh, I loved you getting even on the Mean Girls. I really did.
Yeah. And it was
still
in the wake of for Jim Carrey in the wake of the Newton Elementary School shooting in 2012, Jim Carrey refused to take part in any promotion campaigns for this film because he felt he could no longer support its violent content. Because Carrey's apparently known for his personal distaste for guns and gun violence, not unlike his character.
Then why fucking accept the role?
Well, because his character the only gun he used was unloaded.
It's like Liam Neeson. Oh, I don't like guns. Yes, but you have a lot of movies where you use a gun.
Mm-hmm.
So put your man where your fucking mouth is.
That's a metric fuck ton of actors and actresses.
Well, they don't have to worry themselves about handling guns. They have bodyguards they pay to do stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy to be a saint when there's a paycheck online, I guess.
That's like what's the one chick she was in Charmed.
Rose McGowan
Not Rose
or
McGowan.
Alyssa Milano.
Alyssa Milano. I know she has a bodyguard, but she goes through a specific thing that her bodyguard does not carry a gun. I give her
wonder.
props from that.
Okay.
Hey, at least she's doing the thing that a lot of them don't and fucking puts her money where her
Yeah.
mouth is.
So you're stupid, but at least you're consistent.
Yes.
Well, again, she's the one with the knitted fucking. She knitted her own face mask. So yeah, okay, yeah, I take it back. Fine, then.
And apparently, there's 2 other graphic novels that Mark Miller wrote, and it's American Jesus and Superior, which are apparently posters that are in Dave's room that I missed. I still think I do like the whole fact that apparently I don't remember Scrubs being mentioned in the first movie by Kick-Ass, but you notice that Turk was the guy with the bat, right?
Yeah.
I can't remember his name.
I know what you're talking
about. Michael Faison. Something
Donald.
Faison. Donald Faison.
Yeah.
I know the Faison
Dr. Gravity.
Is right.
Like I said, it's definitely not the greatest movie you could ever see. And honestly, if you watch the first one, you don't really need to watch the second one. Quite literally, you can just look up Kick-Ass 2 fight scenes and watch that and you're golden. You all right?
Again, the ending fight was great. Everyone would feel that.
Weather is being very bipolar, and it's messing with my sinuses.
Yeah, and then you get all the pollen coming out, and trees trying to bang, or all the plants trying to bang each other.
Outside, trees are bang. Okay.
My answers to Mr. Scott was either George Clooney's character in A Perfect Storm or Timothy Hutton's character in Beautiful Girls.
Screw it, we'll go something that's not even so recent. We're gonna have to say we'll have Nick Cage replace George Clooney in Batman Forever.
And everything. We'll have Nick Cage just replace George Clooney and everything.
I don't hate George Clooney as an actor. I'm not the biggest fan of a lot of his work. He's okay.
Because George Clooney played George Clooney playing George Clooney.
Yeah, like a lot of fucking actors do.
At least Nick Cage plays something else, a character.
Because that's like the other Nicholas that everyone freaking loves. I'm drawing a blank.
Probably no one likes him enough. I can't remember him.
What?
No, I'm not thinking Nicholas. Jack Nicholson. Like, Jack Nicholson plays himself in every fucking movie, and people love it. Will Smith, for the most part, plays himself in majority of the movies he's in.
Have you ever seen Few Good Men?
Dude, for the most part, he's fairly his own person.
Have you ever seen him as Joker?
Yeah, where he's playing Jack Nicholson in makeup, playing Jack Nicholson plays the Joker.
Don't see it.
Just without as much of his curse words.
Have you seen him in As Good as It? My favorite movie, As Good as It Gets.
I don't remember if I've seen that one. But I mean, like, as well, we can look at
with OCD. As Good as It Gets.
If you want to go with another actor who plays himself in every fucking movie, Jason Statham. Jason Statham plays Jason Statham is in Jason Statham beats up bad guys.
So did the fucking Rock. The Rock played The Rock playing The Rock and The Rock.
Actually, Dwayne Johnson's a
character.
Except the Jungle Cruise, he was actually really good in that. I actually really liked that movie. I was very impressed with his acting in that.
He did good in Pain and Gain. in my opinion. And he was a minor role in that one. But you have to remember as well, like, he's Dwayne Johnson playing The Rock, and he's playing The Rock in most of the stuff because that's what the directors want out of him.
Right, and I said that again. The Rock itself is a character.
Yep. But he's the Boulder.
Yeah.
Lord Jesus Christ.
Oh, come on. You got to admit that was a fun thing for Avatar The Last Airbender.
Yes.
It was. Again,
Yes, but he was supposed to be himself in that, brother.
And if I remember correctly, they still over embellished that movie by like a metric fuck ton.
Good. Oh, excuse me.
eh. God damn it. All right, I wouldn't recommend this movie.
That.
I'd recommend the last 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Well,
would recommend it for the last 10 minutes. I got the same feeling from this movie that I got from Sleepaway Camp. Why am I sitting through this? For like
I said, I would
the
still say that
first major part of it, and then the last 10 minutes happened, and I'm like, oh, that's why.
I would still recommend just the fight scenes and that whole thing, because you do have some of the other fight scenes. So, legitimately getting to see, like, Kick-Ass as a character get stronger and that whole thing. Still gets his ass kicked in the one fight because he's up against 4 people and he wasn't taught to fight 4 people. But he did
That's
win.
another thing that should never. That's another continuity error. He should have been able to fucking take on all 4 of them fucks.
Well, he got the one person got a good hit on him. That's what it was.
Girls dance team tryout.
That was comical. I don't care what anyone says.
That was.
Oh, I loved it. First you had Mindy's reaction to the other girl's routine.
To Hori McHorson? Yeah.
And then you got how she goes through it.
Jason Statham, when he was doing his early shit, at the very least, when he was an unknown, was good, and then he became a one-trick pony.
Statham.
Jason Statham.
I really liked Beekeeper, but I have no delusions. It was a Jason Statham movie.
I'm Jason Statham. What you don't understand is I was born in Texas, but I refuse to have a Texas accent.
Jason Statham is the new Steven Seagal.
Oh God, dude!
Steven Seagal doesn't play Steven Seagal.
Okay, old Seagal movies are a guilty pleasure. Most of his newer shit is just god awful.
Because he's like 100 trying to be a action star.
Now he's also fat as shit, and he'll have a fight. And for some of the fight scenes that are supposed to be more of a wide angle, you can tell that they are using a stand-in.
Yeah.
And yeah, Eminem got praised in 8 Mile just for playing himself, and an overly embellished version of himself.
He's starting to trying to become old Marlon Brando, Dr. Monroe Marlon Brando.
At that point, honestly, Dr. Monroe Brando, from what I'm aware of, they should have just fired his ass.
They really should have.
Like he had,
but they had sunk so much money into that movie,
yeah.
and
put
this shit with all.
I understand that they had sunk so much money in that movie, but they should have reshot what they could. Like any scenes they had with Marlon Brando, they should have just reshot with someone else in there. I don't care if they got a fucking nobody actor. I know the reason most likely that they didn't get rid of Marlon Brando is because it would perform better based off having him in there because of his name.
his name alone
Yeah.
would bring up. Like they had some well known names in that movie. They had Marlon Brando, they had Val Kilmer, who was at the height of his popularity, and they also had Faruqa Balak.
Firuza Balk, yes.
Sorry, I call it that. Oh, my bad. But they had some popular names. And have you watched Critical Drinkers Development Hell series, Development Hell episode on that? That shit was insane.
Nope. Never watched Critical Drink that I can think of.
His development hell for that one is fucking insane. That movie, that yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, that's the way things go sometimes.
Clown. Yeah, yeah, yeah. God. And I still apologize for that one. Sorry.
Oh, that was so bad. Oh.
That movie was the extended cut of that movie is fucking terrible.
It's so sad because the movie that was released was actually quite good. I enjoyed it. I watched it a lot when I was a kid.
Oh dear Christ. Nicolas
thing
Cage
that
is going to be in
happened?
another Western.
Just the extended cut of that movie is just terrible.
To see Nicolas Cage in the first Western before I can decide if he'll be good in the next.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm talking about the Brando.
Well, no, I just said that because, like,
Rotn just said Nicolas Cage just got another Western.
yeah, it's called The Gunslingers. Him and Steven Dorff and Heather Graham.
I didn't know he had
The first
a
one I'm
Western.
aware of is The Old Way.
Steven Dorff is just knockoff Timothy Oliphant. Get the real thing. He's a lot hotter.
Don't know who the hell it is either.
He played Deacon Frost in the first Blade movie.
Okay.
He's not a bad actor.
He isn't. I like him. I liked him as Deacon Frost, even though the CGI is fucking terrible.
Oh,
but that's
yeah.
not a him issue.
Yeah, let's go with CGI issue.
I mean,
Thank you, Will.
at least for that one, like, you knew that they were doing CGI for that instead of like in the second Blade movie where they had to CGI Wesley Snipes' eyes because he refused to open them in a bunch of cases.
Yeah. Wesley Snipes became a prima donna.
Yep.
Oh,
Although he did really good in the third Expendables movie, in my opinion. Like he had like more of the energy of like when he was the villain in Demolition Man.
Simon Phoenix.
Yeah, Simon Phoenix. Like he was having more fun. And what's really funny is like they have him in there, like, they ask him what he went to prison for, and he goes, tax evasion.
Okay, funny.
Because he went to prison for tax evasion. Like,
yeah, in real life, yeah.
If you haven't seen the third Expendables, I actually recommend the second one over the third, or not over the first. But the third one is pretty good fun.
You gonna hate me for saying this, but I have no interest in the Expendables.
It's not for everyone.
Actually want to see him. I just haven't had an opportunity.
Well, the first one was directed by Stallone, which is all right, but he goes like a half serious, half comedy, and he doesn't blend them properly. Like, it's still a pretty good movie, but I mean, it's basically just, in a way, Jurassic Park. Cause it's old guy. It's old creatures killing things.
Old creatures killing things. Wow.
It's a joke. But it also does have Terry Crews in it. What's that for?
I don't particularly like Terry Crews either.
Seriously? Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, because the first one, it's Dolph Lundgren, Jason Statham, Sylvester Stallone, Jet Li, Stone Cold Steve Austin's in it. And they got one other guy that does some action stuff and whatnot. And the second one, Terry Crews is in it for too much. I mean, Schwarzenegger does make an appearance in the first one, and so does Bruce Willis.
Poor Bruce.
In the second movie, he has a bigger role, and that's when they make Jean-Claude Van Damme the villain.
That's a first.
And it's got the one Helmsworth brother in it who dies. And then the third movie, they get rid of. It's like they don't have Willis return. Instead, his boss takes over, and his boss is played by Harrison Ford, and the villain is Mel Gibson. Y'all still there? My shit go fucking.
Yeah.
Here.
Okay.
No, everything's good.
Yeah, the third movie though, it's like they had the whole thing where it's like he lets go of the original crew or the crew from that he's had for a while and then gets replacements. So that's where they bring in it's like 3 different dudes, then the one chick who went from MMA to Ronda Rousey.
Controversial opinion. She can't act either.
No, she's not good at acting.
Okay.
Hey, what's up, Johnny?
I mean, yo, Hellcat. I mean, she actor. She is not.
Yeah, the
the
and clown-
MMA is not particularly qualifying for performance and everything.
well, I mean,
So, unlike
Right.
well, you also have to remember she did go over to WWE, and it's really showed there that she can act as well.
yeah,
She's not
WWE
that
is
good.
where the actors are.
She need to learn how to act because. Ugh.
I didn't even think the 4th Expendables was out yet.
Made 4 of those movies.
I know they've made 3, and there's a thing to do 4. Oh yeah, apparently there was an Expendables 4.
That's
Did they fucking get 50 Cent for that?
oh Lord.
Oh boy.
Yeah, from what
Yeah,
I've
they
seen
got
from
his,
Gina Carano, she is.
Got his little brother 25 Cent.
They got his
Yep,
brother.
they had 50 Cent in there.
Along with his uncle 350.
Pretty fitty.
Oh, I'm gonna have to watch this one because they definitely had I am gonna butcher this one, but I don't know if it's Iko or Iko Uwais. He's the one who played Rama in Raid Redemption.
Oh shit.
Okay.
That was a kick-ass movie.
Yeah, he's a Indonesian actor for that whole thing, and if you haven't seen the Raid Redemption, I recommend it. The dubbing can be a little off and everything, but I know like Jack Cochran likes to make the joke of it's the same storyline as Dread for 2012. They are very similar because they are both going through a complex or an apartment complex
Yeah.
type thing, except for it's not just 2 judges, it's an entire team that goes down to for the most part 1 man.
Yeah, and he find his brother, and I think the best fight ever is when at the end where they're teaming up against the dragon.
Mm-hmm. And it's funny because he's actually the guy who they were fighting is the actual fight choreographer and everything, and they have him cut his hair and shave his beard and all that to be in the second.
Yeah, where he plays the homeless guy. Yeah.
But Headshot with him is really good as well.
Mhm.
I ended up happening to catch that on Netflix one in 2017. That's a weird one as well, to where he plays a character who was in a criminal organization. He wakes up in the hospital. You find out that he was in a criminal organization, and he slowly does as well, to where how he was raised, because he was an orphan, is he was taken in by this criminal head who would take several kids and put them in the bottom of a dried out well until basically they were starting to be driven mad from hunger and thirst, and then would put a bottle of water in a bucket and let that go down there, and basically whoever was alive to come back up was then who he would train to be in his organization.
So he was essentially the Hashishem guy.
Yeah. But because he wanted to
Did they have to put the lotion on the skin?
No, because there was no
Well,
lotion.
I still got the hose again. Put the lotion on the skin, or else you get the hose again. It does this twice.
Oh, and it has Tony Jaa in it as well. For the
Did you just
middle
make
school.
it a song and dance number here?
The hell?
This is Tier. Would that surprise you?
Yes,
No.
yes, it would.
No, not at all.
It would surprise Tier.
That's good.
Well, so does breathing.
Go down. I know. Thank you.
I cast manual breathing on him, but he's already there.
Ha ha! It's all fun and games. Huh? Sorry.
Oh, wow.
You know what I cast?
Ugh.
Stop being mean to me.
Know what I cast? Man, butt crack.
No, I still love when I've seen the thing where it goes through all of that in the final when the guy's like, I cast stop being mean to me. And you just see like the kind of tears welling up in his eyes, and they're like, ooh, you've been through some shit. So I think we've about beaten this to death of how we're going to go with it. From what it sounds like, none of us would recommend this to anyone else. Honestly, just look up, like, unless you're super into the whole thing for the Kick-Ass series from Mark Miller, then I would say watch it. And just, it's going to be very different from what the comics are.
But definitely search YouTube for the highlights from 2.
Yeah.
The fights. There's a couple other spots that are like, hey, that was kind of neat. But it's like searching for nuggets of gold in a dog turd.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're there. Do you want to look for them though? That's the question.
So
it's gold. I've got gloves.
So the question is, in that whole thing for the next movie we got to do in Nicolas Cage's thing, do we want to go and rewatch The Sorcerer's Apprentice, to where, you know, he's the
Balthazar?
Balthazar is one of the main characters, because I know we did watch this one already. Well, me and Tier did.
I say we skip it.
What's the other one?
The one after that will be Season of the Witch.
Let's do. I like Sorcerer's Apprentice. I wouldn't mind watching it again.
And I've never seen it.
Okay, all right. We guess we're watching that one.
It feels kind of criminal now.
Yeah. We'll just go with it being part 2.
It's the instant replay that isn't so instant.
But at least it replays.
Well, I mean, sometimes you got to go through and reread stuff and rewatch stuff.
But yeah, that was back before Will joined us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
long ago.
way back in the before times.
Mm-hmm.
There were dinosaurs and everything. Kick-ass fight scenes.
It's Jay Barchel. I'm probably fucking up butchering his last name. I don't know if he was in Accepted. No, he
I
wasn't
was
that guy
gonna
from Accepted. He would have been Hiccup from How to Train Your Dragon.
How to change a jacket.
Trying to think what else he's been in. He was the main character in She's Out of My League. He was also Kevin Sandusky in Tropic Thunder.
What do you mean, you people?
We
What
were
do you
just
mean?
talking about Tropic Thunder.
Never go full retard.
Oh my god.
What do you mean, you people? What do you mean, you people?
Well, since Tropic Thunder came up again, I will address your question verbally. I do not think that Nicolas Cage could have played Robert Downey Jr.'s character. I think the only
No.
people who could do that and get away with it and still have a career in Hollywood are Robert Downey Jr. and C. Thomas Howell.
Who?
C. Thomas Howell, who was in the movie Soul Man, where a kid turns around and takes a drug that is going to make his skin black so that he can
So he can get a
on a
scholarship. Again,
Are the only two people in Hollywood that have done a role like that and not completely lost their career.
Nah.
Yeah, there aren't many that can get away with it.
Not at all.
But I think with that, we're going to call it. I know it's only been a little over an hour. But I think we've argued. Just look for the highlights. There's really no reason to go any further. And remember, tomorrow's tax day. Fuck the IRS.
I've already done my taxes.
Same. And also don't forget, this Friday is Good Friday. And Sunday is Easter.
All right, I got a question. If there's a Good Friday, is there also a Bad Friday?
Yes, there are most of them. Timing is an illusion.
I don't know about Bad Friday, but there is Ash Wednesday. And a Fat Tuesday.
Time is a delusion.
Time is a delusion.
So would that make Thursday Feral Thursday?
Again,
well, I'm only saying that because hopefully I should have some gun content coming out from that. I got quite a bit planned since I now have a actual gun channel. So all my ones will be from now on posted on there. What's on my current one or my channel currently is just going to be left there.
Yeah, and I might get back into doing some gaming, streams. Yeah. I'm going to go back to playing.
Also, don't forget to check out Angela's channel for her content. And
I was just about to say, I'm actually I did the watch through and took notes, and I've been organizing my notes of Ghostbusters and Ghostbusters 2016.
Ugh.
So
you take notes and organize. You put say, I'm doing
my,
this wrong.
You put way more effort than I did.
My comparison video should happen soon. I'm just working on how I want to organize it.
Oh, you're going into how the one is just basically a low quality remake of the other?
in the
No,
rip off.
my point is to point out that, well, it is while it is a completely shit movie and it does shit on men, it also shits on women.
Well, a shit
Because
movie
they
will
do
shit
so
everywhere.
equally.
Oh yeah, no, it definitely does because it completely shits on Janine and Dana from the first movie, which is why I needed to watch both movies so that I could compare them.
Which movie again?
The second
Ghostbusters and
remake.
Ghostbusters 2015.
Yeah, because it literally turns Janine's character into a himbo when she was
No,
literally.
like the character that Chris Hemsworth played, I spent almost the entire movie wondering how he survived childhood. He was that stupid.
Pretty privilege.
No,
It
yeah.
would have had to have been. Like, there's just no way he was not operating on the blessings of being so beautiful. People protected his ass from everything.
Yeah, plot
did.
armor.
I just love how
Or-
Tier
or-
wanted to argue and be like, he's like, no, you're probably fucking right.
No, I'm going to argue that no, it can't be pretty privileged because if it's pretty privileged, he's fucking 10. He survived 10 years old or pretty fucking privileged.
Yeah, animals do it.
Yeah, those are animals. We're humans. There's a lot way other shit. Yeah,
You'd be surprised.
yeah. I'm
I
gonna
mean,
call bullshit on that
Tier, you work in TSA, you've worked in that whole thing as well. You know that there are people that you're still curious of how the fuck they've survived.
one. No, not really. God protects babies and fools. I've accepted this as canonical fact.
There is a scene where he is asking them which of two
The drawings with
like
the tits. I get it. Yeah, it's
glossy
stupid.
shots. What the fuck are you talking about? I'm not talking about that.
Oh,
He went and did headshots of him with a saxophone. And he has one where it looks like he's playing the saxophone and one where he's holding it up to his ear. And he asks them, like, not even the end of the saxophone, the part that you're supposed to play. And he asks them, so which one do you think is better? The one where I'm playing the saxophone or the one where I'm listening to the saxophone?
how is he not in some sort of
And
group
they
home?
thought that was funny. And he was dead serious. Like, the character was seriously asking this question. And
See, this is movies like that are proof positive that I'm doing the correct thing by not wasting energy and time on crap.
Sure about that?
Yeah,
Because we've watched some crap.
look, watching it by myself and watching it with friends is totally different types of crap. I mean, we've seen some crap. Johnny has tortured us with crap, but I still had fun enjoying watching it with you guys. However, watching crap by myself, I got shit else to do.
I mean, if we could go back in time and everything, I would stop Time to Kill from being made because God, that was god awful. And
Andrew, I'm still pissed at you and James for that movie.
I mean, you ought to be. I still say you shouldn't be pissed at her. You should be pissed at the fucking writer and the studio that fucking brought it up.
Yeah,
I
I
thought it was a
know
good
I should
idea.
be, but I'm not.
he's not mad at them. He is mad at me.
For not suffering with us. Like you should.
I'm
We had this
starting to
stuff
think that
separately.
Tyr just enjoys being angry with me.
No, it's not that Drew being angry. It's just that you should suffer with us.
But-
That movie was suffering.
We're
I
gonna
was teasing Tyr. It was a joke.
Tyr enjoys being angry in general.
we're gonna get out of
Well,
here.
I'm black, so I gotta be an angry black man. Gotta keep the stereotype alive.
Good week,
And that whole thing.
everybody.
Have a good as. Are
What
they
time
still
people
doing?
Go to the movies.
Well, isn't this week Lent as well? Or is that
Passover.
Passover? What was Lent last week?
Lent
Lent is
Lent
still
has
in
been the last
play.
40 days. but,
Okay. I don't know.
Lent is like 40 days. Starts like 40 days before Easter and ends on Easter.
Ah.
So
And
yeah, it's still
if-
Lent, and Passover started
I will
yesterday.
I will say from one of the things I learned, if you are going through the grocery store and you see a Coca-Cola or Diet Coke that instead has a yellow cap instead of the regular white cap, that is made with real sugar because it's actually made for Jewish people for Passover. It is kosher.
Nice.
So if you didn't know, you can buy
I
that.
didn't. Thank you.
I found out this
I'm gonna have
because
to try that.
yeah, I found out because of AP's channel, and I haven't actually checked to see if my local Meijer that carries it. But for those of you who may be of that, you don't always have to look for that. You can look for those things.
You know
Well,
what?
I
I
don't
go
know
to a
who's responsible for Saw AA, but they need to be horsewhipped.
no. Hold
Well,
on.
no,
Andrew.
we're done.
They don't
Horse
need
would be-
to-
Hey,
Say-
hey,
no,
nope,
no,
stop,
no.
stop. We're done. Y'all can talk this another day.
I was just gonna say horsewhipping's too good for him.
That's what I'm about to say.
So have a good night, everyone. Have a good week. Have a happy. Well, we'll see you on Easter.
Bye, all.
See ya.
Laters. Hey, thanks for tuning in. Join us again next week, or you can check out the other people in the panel in the description and see us again plausibly on one of their channels, or just check out what work they've done. Have a good week, everyone.